So page 211, number 68, they tell us that the function named f, so f of x equals 2x plus 1. So this is the function named f, 2x plus 1. The function named g of x is 3x minus 2. So 3x minus 2 is g, 2x plus 1 is f. The x tells us which variable is in them. All right, so for part A, they ask us to find f plus g of x. Okay, so that means I'm going to take the function named f and I'm going to add it to the function named g and leave the variable x in them. Okay, so just take the function named f, which is 2x plus 1, and add it to the function named g, which is 3x minus 2. Okay, what do I add together there? The 2x and the 3x. I only add like terms together. You can only add like terms. So it has to not only have x in it, but it has to be x to the same power. So this is x to the first power, this is x to the first power. So I can add their coefficients or the numbers in front of them together, and what does that give me? 5x. And then I can add the regular numbers, the constants that don't have any variable with them. So positive 1 and negative 2 gives me negative 1. Okay, so that is f plus g of x. All right. Then it also, in the directions, it says, for the given functions f and g, find the following for parts A and D. And then it says, also find the domain. So what is the domain of this? All real numbers, because remember the default is all real numbers unless there's a fraction or a square root, and we don't have either a fraction or a square root, so the domain is all real numbers. And what that means is I can plug any x value I want to, any real number in there for that. All right, actually we're going to skip around a little bit. Let's go to E. Okay. So E is f plus g of 3. So what that means is we're going to take the function named f, add it to the function named g, and then instead of x, we're going to plug in 3. So in part A, we already added the function f and g together and got 5x minus 1. Okay, so we're going to take that function 5x minus 1 and plug 3 into it. So 5 times 3 minus 1. So do the multiplication first. So 15 minus 1 is 14. So that means if I take the function named f, add it to the function named g, and then plug 3 into it, I get 14. Does that make sense? So if people miss this, it's usually because they don't understand the notation of it, not because they didn't know how to multiply and subtract, right? So usually it's because they don't understand the notation or because they forget to use PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division in one step from left to right, addition and subtraction in one step from left to right. All right, look at number B, or letter B. F minus g of x. Okay, so I'm going to take the function named f, subtract from it the function named g, and I'm going to leave x in there as a variable. So what is the function named f?
2x plus 1.
2x plus 1. And then I'm going to subtract from it the function named g. So notice this is super important. I put the minus sign and then I put parentheses because I'm subtracting that entire function named g. Okay? This is the most common mistake here, is people don't put the parentheses, and because of that, they don't distribute the negative through, okay? So the function named f is 2x plus 1. What is the function named g? 3x minus 2. So that's what I'm subtracting, that entire function from function f. All right, so when you subtract more than one term, you have to distribute the negative sign through. So 2x plus 1, and then the negative 3x, and negative times negative 2x is going to give me plus 2. Then add like terms. So 2x minus 3x is negative 1x, right? And you don't have to write the 1, just negative x. And then plus 1 and plus 2 is plus 3. Okay, so that is f minus g of x. So now we're going to skip down to f, because f says f minus g of 4. Okay, so what that says is take the function f, subtract from it the function named g, and then plug in the number 4 for the x. Okay, so we already, in part B, we already subtracted the function g from f. And we got negative x plus 3. So now in this, we just have one more step to plug in the 4. So the negative stays in front. We replace the x with 4 plus 3. So what is negative 4 plus 3? Negative 1. So that is f minus g of 4. Not on this one. Only on... We were supposed to for part B. Okay, so when we just have a number left, then we don't have anything to plug it into, so we don't have to do that. But for part B, we do. So what is the domain there? All real numbers. Does the negative matter? No. What matters? Fractions or square root. Those are the only two things at this point that matter in the domain. Okay? So the domain is all real numbers, negative infinity to infinity. Okay? All right. Look at C. So for part C, we have f times g of x. Okay, so this is a filled-in dot, f times g of x. So that means I'm going to take the function named f and multiply it by the function named g. So what's the function named f?
2x plus 1.
2x plus 1. And I'm going to multiply it, so I don't put anything between there, or you can put a dot if you want to. And then what is g?
3x minus 2.
3x minus 2. So when you multiply binomial times binomial, that's when you use FOIL method, when you're multiplying. Okay? So 2x times 3x, also this is just distributive property. So 2x times 3x is 6x, keep going, squared, good. Okay? Because when you multiply like bases, you add their exponents. So this is an exponent of 1 and exponent of 1, so you add 1 plus 1 to get 2. Okay? So 2x times 3x is 6x squared. 2x times negative 2, negative 4x. And then 1 times 3x, 3x. And then 1 times negative 2, negative 2. Okay? So 6x squared, and then combine like terms. Can I add an x squared term and an x term? No. Do not add terms that don't have exactly the same variable part. Okay? Can I add negative 4x and 3x? Yes, because they have exactly the same variable part. So what does that equal? negative x. Okay, and then minus 2, can I add that to it? Or subtract it? No. So these are all different. They're not like terms because they don't, this one has no variable, this one has only an x, and this one has x squared. So those are not like terms. They cannot be subtracted or added together, so that's your final answer. So f times g of x equals 6x squared minus x minus 2. Okay, what is the domain of that?
All real numbers.
All real numbers, because there's no what and what?
No fraction or root.
No fraction, no square root, so it's all real numbers. So negative infinity to infinity. Okay? Then part G says f times g of 2. That's okay. Yes, it was making a very loud noise.